How can your business possibly stand out in such a crowded marketplace? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about today in this episode of Monday Marketing Minute. I'm Holly Fisher. Thanks so much for joining me. So let this sink in for just a minute. We are hit with 6,000 to upwards of 10,000 ads every single day. That's right, 6,000 to 10,000 ads every single day. Let's stop and think about it. Social media, ads, television, ads, even streaming services that you pay for still have ads on them. Listening to the radio, you're going to hear some ads. Driving around town, billboards. You probably got some mail in your mailbox today. Advertisements, pitches for home care services, right? I get those all the time, or real estate ads, more ads coming in our mailbox. Maybe there's even product placement on shows or in movies that you're watching, right? We tend to see certain kinds of vehicles or people using a particular brand of computer or cell phone. People might be calling you, right, with sales pitches, right? Those are more ads. Even digital ads as you're searching for things online, emails that you're receiving from companies that you've even done business with in the past. And one of my least favorite ones is when I'm at the movie theater and there's even ads before the movie even gets started. Taking your kids to their soccer game, well, I bet the soccer stadium is surrounded with ads, right? Those billboards that they put along the fence line. Yep, more ads. Looking at a magazine, looking at a newspaper, more ads. So you can see how actually it's pretty easy to think about how we are hitting that 6,000 to 10,000 mark every single day. So how can your business possibly stand out? Well, let me give you 3 things to think about. One is you need to make sure that you have a really clear message. You have to make sure that people understand what it is that you're selling. How are you helping them solve a problem? How will your product or service make their life better? And you have to do that in a really clear and simple way. Because again, if I'm seeing your ad among 10,000 other ads, I have to know quickly and clearly what it is that you have to offer. Then you're going to want to make sure that you're repeating that clear and consistent message over and over again. And then the third thing is making sure that you're doing that on multiple channels, right? And that you're telling people that same clear, consistent message in a lot of different ways. Let me read you a little something from the Building a Story Brand 2.0 by Donald Miller. I think this kind of hammers it home a little bit. Okay, so Don writes, I've come to believe people have to read or hear your message about 8 times before they internalize and respond to that message. So I'm going to have to hear something 8 times before I even start to think about it, right? And really start to process what's happening. On top of that, people ignore most commercial messages, right? It's true, right? We tend to look at our phone during a commercial break, run to the restroom, go get a snack. We just kind of tune out the billboards that are on the road as we're driving around, right? So we're ignoring a lot of these commercial messages. So you have to repeat your clear message over and over again for people to hear it even one time. If 90% of all commercial messages are ignored, for instance, you will have to repeat your message 80 times for someone to hear it 8 times. Your clear message needs to be stated clearly in elevator pitches, passed around in conversation, repeated clearly on your website, spoken of in your lead generators, talked about on your YouTube videos, printed on your swag, painted on the wall of your retail establishment, written about in emails and snail mail, and spoken from the mouths of your sales representatives. Repeat, repeat, repeat. That is the message here, is that you have to repeat your clear marketing message over and over again in everything that you're doing. People are just automatically going to tune out those 6,000 to 10,000 messages that they're hearing a day. So you're going to have to take the time to really repeat your message over and over again so people really begin to internalize what it is that you have to offer. I know it's going to feel like you are just saying the same thing over and over again. That's because you're hearing that message, right? Remember, Other people are not. They're tuning it out 90% of the time. So that's why we have to make sure that we're repeating our message consistently and clearly and across a multitude of different channels and in different ways so that we can really capture people's attention. So, what is your message? Is it clear? And are you repeating it across a variety of different channels? That's what I want you to think about today as you look at ways that you can really improve your marketing. Thanks so much for joining me for this episode of Monday Marketing Minute. I look forward to helping you find more ways to fuel your marketing.